This is the X-Pulse 200 and today I'm gonna tell you exactly why you need to own one. The X-Pulse 200. I have somewhat of a history with this motorcycle. Let me tell you guys that first so that you know that I'm eligible to review this bike. I've ridden this to Rajasthan. I've done 1200 kilometers in one day in 22 hours on the X-Pulse 2V. I've taken the 4V to Ratnagiri, to Mahabaleshwar. I've done multiple rides here and there. So I've ridden this bike for roughly, you can say 10,000 kilometers. So I have a very good understanding of how this bike is, what this bike is actually capable of, which is a lot if I'm honest. And guys, this is Bhagesh. That's his baby, that's his bike. So thanks a lot for giving me this bike for the review.
Mention not to. I suck at that.
No worries bro. ये कैमरा के पीछे मस्त है.
हाँ. पीछे तो
भाई अपना photographer है. So thanks to him that I'm getting this bike to review. This is the bike that you should have if you're only going to have a one bike garage. There's many reasons for it. Let's start riding and we can speak about that. Getting on the X-Pulse after a whole lot of days. Let's start her up. Bhagesh is gonna ride my bike. We'll go to reclamation just to talk about the bike. And she's on. This bike can genuinely do it all. I have so much love and respect for this bike. Right away, it's so smooth. The minute you start riding it, you're like, damn, this is smooth. So this is actually the 2V. अभी तो 4V आ गया and then 4V में भी बहुत सारे variations आ गए. As of October 2024, there is no direct competition for this bike. Kawasaki की KLX 230 अभी कुछ दिनों पहले launch, मतलब उन्होंने announce किया है कि वो launch होने वाली है. But अभी फिलहाल तो कोई competition नहीं, and I'm sure that Kawasaki is going to be a lot more expensive. So like I said, this is a motorcycle that can genuinely do it all. You want to ride this from Mumbai to Ladakh, and in Ladakh, you can do it. You want to ride this in Mumbai all day, every day for your commutes, it can do it. You want to take this off-roading, it can do it. This is just such a capable and well-packaged motorcycle. Along with all of this, you have extremely low maintenance cost. You have very high fuel efficiency. So these are all just fantastic reasons to own a bike. The suspension and the wheel setup is such that it makes it very comfortable. For city roads, it can absorb bumps like you cannot imagine. हमारे जो यूट्यूबर वॉन्डर सेन है, उनके पास जो एक्सपल्स है, उन्होंने उसका नाम तो बादल ही रख दिया क्योंकि वो बादल जैसे चलती है. एंड जेन्युइनली अभी हम जिस रोड के ऊपर से जा रहे हैं उसके ऊपर थोड़े बहुत खड्डे हैं, लेकिन इसमें तो भाई कुछ भी फील नहीं हो रहा है. सो इट्स गुड फॉर सिटी यूज. इट्स एब्सोल्युटली फैंटास्टिक एंड बिल्ट फॉर ऑफ रोडिंग. इट इज़ डिसेंटली लाइट वेट, सो इट्स ईजी टू मैनेज. To take it off-roading and you drop the bike, it lets you bend the handlebar. All the parts are quite cheap, so you don't have to worry about it. This is a way better bike than the bigger bikes if off-roading is something that you want to learn or get into. Plus this can do highway touring decently well. You can definitely maintain a speed of, let's say, 90 to 110 on this bike with a decent amount of ease. When you cross the 110 mark, then that's when the engine really starts to struggle and vibrate. So you don't want to keep it there for too long. But 90 to 105, 110 तो ये संभाल लेता है, कोई problem नहीं है. Especially the 4V. Let's talk about off-roading for a minute. See, I genuinely believe that off-roading is something that every single biker should do because it can teach you so much about riding a motorcycle that it's worth doing it. Number one, and number two, it's a whole lot of fun and it's a lot of safe fun. You know, अगर आप कोई सुपर स्पोर्ट मोटरसाइकिल लेते हैं और उसके ऊपर अगर आपको एक्साइटमेंट चाहिए तो आपको हाईवे पे जाना पड़ेगा, और हाईवे पे भाई बहुत उसको चेपना पड़ेगा, तब जाके आपको मज़ा आएगा वो बाइक पे. बट ऑफ रोडिंग एक ऐसी चीज़ है ना कि अगर आप 5 किलोमीटर्स पर आवर पे भी जा रहे हो ना, फिर भी आपको बहुत मज़ा आएगा. थ्रिल इतना ज़्यादा रहता है उसमें, एड्रेनलिन इतना ज़्यादा रहता है. Whereas रोड पे अगर वो एड्रेनलिन निकालना है तो फिर भाई यू हैव टू स्टार्ट राइडिंग लाइक एन एब्सोल्यूट इडियट. सो आई थिंक एवरीबडी शुड गेट इनटू ऑफ रोडिंग, एंड देयर इज़ नो बेटर beginner off-road bike for sale in India than this. Before this one, you did have the Impulse for a couple of years, which was a fantastic motorcycle. I think it's a better bike than this one because that Impulse was designed by Honda. The X-Pulse has been designed by Hero. तो तुम बस समझ लो कि हीरो का इंजीनियरिंग कौन से लेवल पे और होंडा का इंजीनियरिंग कौन से लेवल पे. होंडा इज़ होंडा मैन. दे आर नोन टू मेक द बेस्ट इंजन्स इन द वर्ल्ड. यू नो, लोग 10 साल जूनी इम्पल्स राइड करते हैं और बोलते हैं कि ये नई एक्सपल्स से भी ज़्यादा स्मूथ है, इवन दो इट्स 10 years old. So that's just crazy. That's just Honda engineering for you. and plus it's around 30-40 kilos lighter. The rider triangle on the Impulse is better for off-roading than this. This is a bit more city and touring oriented rider triangle, but if you get the rally seat, then you can fix the rider triangle by quite a bit. And you know, one thing I absolutely love about this bike is how indestructible it feels. Man, you can do anything with this bike and it's pretty much still not going to complain. You can put it through potholes at any speed you want. You never have to stop for speed breakers. You can ride over footpaths. You can do anything with this bike and it's just so happy doing it. Thanks to that beautiful 21-inch front wheel. और उसका जो comfort benefits है ना, वो आपको ऐसे city roads पे तो बहुत ज़्यादा feel होता है, क्योंकि ये खड्डे के अंदर जाती नहीं है, खड्डे के ऊपर से निकल जाती है. So that just makes it delightful. Another reason why you should get an X-Pulse is because if you opt for the rally kit, you get fully adjustable suspension, which is crazy. मेरे को ऐसी कोई भी बाइक सब 6-7 lakhs माइंड में नहीं आ रही है जिसमें एडजस्टेबल सस्पेंशन हो. अभी चलो वेरी रिसेंटली KTM ने और TVS ने स्टार्ट किया है वो देना, और उसके पहले तो कुछ भी नहीं था. If I'm not wrong, the rally kit suspension front forks are about 20,000, the rear monoshock is about 7-8,000, which is fully adjustable. So that's just tremendous value for money for adjustable suspension. क्योंकि एक बार तुम्हारे पास adjustable आ गया, फिर तुम अपने राइडिंग स्टाइल के हिसाब से, अपने यूज़ के हिसाब से, अपने वेट के हिसाब से उसको सेट कर सकते हो. Another reason to buy this bike is if you modify the X-Pulse correctly, it can look like a proper dirt bike. And I don't know about you guys, but I love the dirt bike look on a motorcycle. So you can just spend about 5-10,000 rupees, change the headlight, tail light, few things here and there, and you can make this such a proper off-roader. इसका 21-inch व्हील है, थोड़ा यू टर्न या फिर कॉर्नरिंग के टाइम पे थोड़ा सा फील होता है वो कि कितना बड़ा व्हील है, पर दैट्स ओके, क्योंकि उसका जो तुम्हें रिटर्न मिल रहा है ना भाई, कि खड्डों में कुछ चीज़ फील नहीं होती है, दैट्स वर्थ इट. See, the X-Pulse is not an exotic bike or a new bike in the market by any stretch of the imagination, but still I fall in love with it every time I ride it, because just think about what Hero is offering you over here. At such a reasonable price, you get a motorcycle that has tremendous off-roading capabilities, that has decent highway capabilities, that has very good commuting capabilities, very good fuel efficiency, very low cost of parts. You know, you can pick up a used X-Pulse 2V for about 90,000, 1 lakh, for a 4V for 1.2, 1.3, which is very good value for money for what you get. And you know, if off-roading is something that you want to get into, then there is no better motorcycle than this. Because if you buy a bigger bike, you can get a 600cc adventure bike or a 800cc or a 1200cc adventure bike. पैसा अगर है तो तुम कुछ भी ले सकते हो, लेकिन उसमें तुम्हें सीखने को इतना नहीं मिलेगा. You will be so scared of just handling the bike or dropping it that you will not be able to use the bike. This bike is just easy to manage, it's easy to ride, you can learn so much on this because it's lightweight. So yeah, this is just an absolute value for money motorcycle, and this is probably going to be my next bike because off-roading is something I'm very much interested in. Plus this can do city and highway and everything like I mentioned. Now let's get to the cons of this bike. So first of all, the headlight is shit. Headlight could have been way better. They improved it like little bit with the 4V, but then it's still a shit headlight. So the headlight is quite useless. It's very much recommended that you get a pair of aux lights for this bike. Another problem that people have with this bike is that it's 5-speed and it's not very powerful on the highway. But look bro, you are paying for a 200cc bike. Please don't expect a 400cc bike ka highway performance from a 200cc bike. Even then I'm saying this can do highway riding quite decently. Like I said, 90, 100, 110 के बीच में आप आराम से cruise करते जा सकते हो with very good fuel efficiency. Now see, there is no direct competition to this bike in the market right now, but if you want to do more highway riding and less of off-roading, less of adventure riding, then I would recommend you get the Adventure 250 or the V-Storm 250 because they're much better highway tourers, but they're also more expensive and they cannot do off-roading as well. So you have to pick and choose what you want. But for me, this bike stands in the segment by itself. There's nothing that really gets to it. और इसका highway का जो problem है ना, that's gonna be fixed with the newer X-Pulse. It's gonna come out. It's gonna have the XMR engine, which is a 6-speed gearbox, and it's gonna be liquid cooled, DOHC, proper modern engine with 25 horsepower. This one comes with 18 It's gonna have a 7 horsepower bump. So एक बार वो नई वाली Xpulse आ गई फिर तो भाई कुछ देखना ही नहीं है. इसका जो एक main fundamental flaw है which is highway cruising, that's gonna get fixed completely with the new Xpulse. Kawasaki जो KLX launch कर रहा है, we'll see at what price it comes out at, but you can be assured that the cost of the parts and maintenance is gonna be much higher than this, and the cost of even acquiring the bike is going to be much higher than an Xpulse. So even after the KLX comes out, there's going to be nothing that quite competes with the Xpulse. The KLX will be a better bike, I'm sure, because it's going to be about 30 kilos lighter than this one. It's going to be about 130 kilos or something like that, if I'm not wrong. Same as the Impulse. Yeah, this is another complaint I have with this bike, is that it's a bit heavy. More accurately, it's a bit more top heavy. इसका वजन है ना थोड़ा ऊपर आए. Prefer bikes जिसका वजन नीचे हो, जो top heavy feel ना हो. तो थोड़ा सा हीरो ने उधर, I don't think they brought their A game over there. Another problem I've noticed with the Xpulses is that the gaskets have a seepage. Most Xpulses I've seen have a seepage from the gasket. So see, a pro would be that this is a reliable bike. A con would be that it's not a very reliable bike. So if you plan on abusing the clutch plates or the engine of this bike while off-roading or while touring, it does give out quicker than most motorcycles. I've seen people burning their clutches up on new Xpulses while they go off-roading, or blowing up an engine while they do highway touring and they're pinning the throttle. So it's not an extremely reliable bike, but it is very reliable as long as you don't abuse it too much. So that will be my review of the Xpulse 200. This is gonna go out of production anytime now, and the newer Xpulse is gonna come in, and we'll see how that turns out. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching this one till here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.
Of course, not doing the speed limit. Why the fuck would I do the speed limit on a super bike?
Bro, तेरे को introduce कर देता हूँ मैं vlog में. So before I start the vlog, this is Bhagesh. This is his bike. So thanks a lot to him for giving me the bike for the review.
और मुझे how am I supposed to express? ऐसे
अरे मैं कर दिया तेरे को introduce. वापस करूँ क्या?
हाँ वापस
आजा ठीक है बाबा. And guys, this is Bhagesh.